Good morning, Gina. How you doing? You're already laughing, see? You know it's going to be a great interview when people are laughing when they enter the room. If this is a room, I guess, audio. Anyways, I am so excited, ladies and gentlemen, because I am joined today by the Gina Lamanna, not to be confused by some of the other names you might see her represented as. But she said yes to my interview with Opportunity Knocks, and this is a perfect example of an opportunity, to be honest. We met through a joint group text, and in addition, through Rachel Bloomberg. And how lucky are we? Like, we became fast friends, and Gina Lamanna owns this beautiful curated brand called Spool. And if that is not such a special name, I have to say, like, I love that name. And I can't wait to hear about how you came up with it. What'd you say?
My ex-husband came up with the name. He likes taking credit for that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But she said yes. So you could have said no. So anyways, Gina, what I'd love to do is first, just really give people an idea of how you came up with Spool, and not only that, but just more about you, because you're such a fun person.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, I created and launched Spool 16 years ago.
Wow.
I have dabbled many hats in the fashion retail industry since I was 16 years old. So fashion has been a part of my, in my I think in my DNA from my father and my mother since I was born.
You still
But
look 16.
Excuse me?
You still look 16.
Do?
Mm-hmm.
I'll take that. Thanks. So I created Spool 16 years ago. When I realized, well, real quick, I'm sorry, let me back up for a second. I came out to California 20 some years ago, and with all this fashion retail experience under my belt, I was a visual merchandiser. I managed my best friend's vintage, her mother's vintage consignment shop when I was 17 years old.
Wow.
I was a clothing buyer. I managed a store. I had a jewelry business back east. So I've worn many hats within this
And
industry.
where were you from back east?
New Jersey, South Jersey, a little beach town.
Jersey.
And then I went to school in New York, at FIT. And when I moved out here 20 plus years ago, met a guy, and that was in production. And I kind of fell into a position with him as an assistant stylist. Kind of just happened organically with, the people that he worked with and hung out with. And obviously I always had a passion for fashion. And I kind of just found this position as assistant stylist and started helping the stylist on commercials and did some editorial work and whatnot. So fast forward a couple of years of doing that, which to be honest, burned me out. The long hours.
I'm sure it was really hard. Yeah.
And everything. But as a stylist, when you're I'm sure, as you know, when you're a fashion stylist, you develop various relationships with specialty boutiques, Fred Siegel, and you or the big department stores. So you're constantly pulling from these various stores, right? Mm-hmm. And there's this one particular store on Montana Avenue in Santa Monica, which I used to pull all the time. I love the owners. It was a husband and wife team. They had a great eye. They brought in collections from all over the world, and we hit it off. So I ended up becoming business partners with them. I kind of got burnt out as a stylist and became one of their business partners and started working with their clientele and obviously establishing relationships with other stylists and other brands and showrooms and whatnot. Anyways, I did that for a handful of years, and I recognized during that time that there was a massive void in this market for busy professionals and like busy moms and women that just wanted one-on-one personalized attention. Mm-hmm. Basically, if you remember how our great grandmothers used to shop, in a boudoir setting, like one-on-one, appointment only, they cater to you, so I recognized that these women and these clients that I worked with, they just wanted me. That's all they wanted, my one-on-one attention. And I was like, wait a second, I think I have an idea. I was
Mhm.
engaged at the time, and I knew that going forward, I definitely wanted to have a family, but I also didn't want to give up my career. So I was like, what can I do to continue my passion and continue all these, continue the, my create, continue the momentum of all the relationships and designers and brands that I established through the years. So I
Mhm.
came up with this concept, much smaller concept, to create a by appointment only little studio and cater strictly to my clientele, work with stylists, and basically just personalize and curate their wardrobe for various events, their daily lifestyle, and whatnot. So at the time, we were house shopping, and I discovered this little house that I'm currently in, and it had a detached studio guest house
Oh
with
my
a
gosh.
bathroom and whatnot that the owners at the time were renting out. And I said, I think this is the space.
It's like
Start up.
perfect.
It was perfect, and it was funny. I will be honest, I was a little nervous because when I was parting ways with my business partners at the time, um, all my clientele and everyone with the community that I, created kept saying, wherever you go, I'm going to follow you. Well, you hear that and I'm like, are they really going to follow me? Are they really interested in
Yes.
what I'm
Well,
moving?
you never know.
You never know.
Mhm.
Exactly. So it was definitely a leap. Like, okay, I'm leaving like a stable, business. I don't really want to move forward with this concept, but I have this new idea, but I want to continue doing what I love and continue to nurture all these business relationships. So I bought the house. I converted my little studio into this beautiful little space. However, the first 2 to 3 years, it basically was just a couch, three ugly rolling racks. I still had the kitchen. So it's definitely evolved into this gorgeous garden type setting, beautiful. You come,
Seems
it's like,
like this like amazing hideaway.
yeah, it's real. I call it my utopia because,
Mhm.
you come in and it's relaxed and there's a fountain outside and it's just really laid back and it's beautiful and the colors and, just makes me happy. I love being in there.
Well, the
And
interesting thing is that it seems like this utopia is actually it taps into like all the things you love.
Mhm,
It's very interesting. Like it brings like this beautiful experience of everything converging into one.
exactly. And one of my another reason why I wanted to create this space was because, as I mentioned to you, I wanted to have a family, and a lot of my clients were busy moms.
Mhm.
So it's worked out beautiful because majority of my clientele, new babies, they bring their babies. And when I had my baby, I had my nanny on site. So here these moms were coming here and we were shopping, playing dress up, and I was, you know, revamping their wardrobe and they were getting their groove back as a new mom, and it worked out great. So you had like your childcare and you're able to shop and enjoy and have a good time.
I mean, how amazing is it? So it's funny, years ago, I started my career in entertainment, but I was on the marketing side and the business side, not the creative side. But how amazing is it that you can have a career and a job like shopping for people?
I don't do a good job for myself, but yeah.
I mean, how amazing that you get paid for something that you're good at
Thanks.
in that way.
I have to say the most and I think you and I discussed this, when we first met. One of the most rewarding things about my job is making you or my client feel fucking amazing. Excuse my
Mhm.
language, but
No,
like
for real.
women come to me, I find out what their lifestyle is, what they want. We all have trouble spots. We all have the things that we feel really good in. We all have strong assets. Do you love your arms? Let's focus on your arms. You have a great
Mhm.
butt. Let's focus on your butt. But I love, 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 love um, having the opportunity to bring that confidence back with women.
Mhm. Oh my gosh, I love that.
I'm also really good with getting women outside the comfort zone, like stepping outside their box. Because we all have our style ebbs and flows through the years, right? Whether they're a parent or we gain weight, we lose weight, whatever, wherever we are in our life, right? But I just lost my train of thought for a second. I'm sorry.
It's
Um,
okay, you're allowed. It's a mom moment.
but I love it when women come in because maybe you're comfortable just in jeans and a t-shirt and a cardigan.
Mhm.
If you're coming to see me, just all I ask, have an open mind. Allow me to size you up, figure things out. Let me take a look at you, throw some things on, and I'm really good with getting women out of their comfort zone, or maybe trying something that they would never, because with clothes, you really have to try them on. You
Mhm,
can't really go from, I mean, sure, you can look at something on a hanger, but I'm all about how it feels against the body, how it's
mhm,
made,
absolutely.
how it, I touch it and you have to feel it and try it on and kind of see if there's movement and whatnot. So I have one of my favorite stories is a really good client of mine brought one of her girlfriends, and I think I told you this story, I believe.
I'm
She
like,
was
which one?
adamant about what
Oh,
she
yeah.
would not wear and what she's looking for. That's great. She comes in and we're going down the list, and she goes, Gina, I refuse. Do not want to wear white jeans or white pants. No problem. 2.5 hours later, she walked out with 3 pairs of white pants.
Wow.
So, I just showed her how to style them and what to do with them. And it's all about fit. And yeah, but one of the most rewarding things about my job is just making the women feel great and confident and getting that email or note or a gift sent to me, just a hand person note saying, Gina, thank you. Like, I got my groove back. Or my husband thinks I'm whatever. You got me in crop tops. I never thought I could
I
get
love
away with that.
that.
So that to me is why I love my job so much.
Yeah, well, I mean, do you think I would say that probably you're great at building trust with people?
Mhm. Well, of course. I mean, I've been doing this for privately now for 16 years, and I'm strictly referral based only.
Mhm.
So either you're invited by me or word of mouth through a friend. I do cater to many people via Instagram, around the country, whatever, that I haven't met, but you know,
They're
some
your Insta friends.
my Insta friends that I,
I
style
have
from.
many of those too.
Yeah. And they're great and they're amazing. They've been super supportive, and, they love our style and they love the energy that we bring to Instagram and our silliness. And we send them boxes and we style them from afar. So,
So what would you say your greatest strengths are?
oh, um, I'm really good with bringing people together,
Mhm,
networking, community,
mhm.
all about
Love
bringing,
that, yeah.
especially women, of course, right? I'm all about motherhood and sisterhood and being supportive. And I love collaborating with various other brands and designers and hosting events or just having events and bringing like a woman like yourself and like, Rachel, all these power. I mean, there's so many amazing women here, right? That
Yes.
access to, or, that's in our community. And I just want to like spread the love and get everyone together. Like, wait, oh, wait, you have Felicia, like her boxing studio, like just bring everybody together. I think
Mm.
that's one of my strengths. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think, from what I hear about you, that's probably one of the reasons why you devised this space was because you love to build community and collaborate with others. And what a beautiful gift that you give not only confidence, but you also want to build community.
So important. Especially when you're building a brand and business, you have to you seek out your community, right? But also you utilize all your resources. A lot of people ask me when I've done other interviews and podcast interviews and stuff, how to get to where I am.
Hmm.
I utilized all my resources in the beginning. Like just, and, in the beginning, like I would, cold call friends or people, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. How do you feel about this? And now I'm at the point with my business, I'll get a DM maybe 2, 3 times a week from a woman or a new mom that's ready to launch. Do you have time for coffee? Do you have 20 minutes to talk to me? I'm thinking about launching a brand, or where would you start to become a stylist or whatever. So I'm all about it. If I have time, I'll be more than happy to have a conversation with you, hop on a call, and give you any kind of insight or feedback or advice that I can offer to you.
So tell me, many women, in your conversation saying like, uh, essentially you were using your network to help you propel yourself forward to launching your business, right? And it's so true. We all need to use our network and or our community to help us grow, right? Because that's where it starts, and then from there it kind of goes out. But So what would you say is like your biggest point of differentiation as far as a stylist goes? You know, because there's so many stylists in Los Angeles. Of course, this podcast goes across the world and not everybody knows what a stylist is, right? But what is your, like, what makes you so much more unique?
I think, well, I develop very close relationships with my clientele. The one service that I do offer, as I get to know all of my clients, I would say 50% of them are on retainer as well,
Mhm.
or I like to call them maybe members per se.
I like that.
So, with that being said, these clients, when I go on my buy trips or when I'm looking at collections, like I was just looking at a collection yesterday. And when I'm looking at these collections, I'm thinking of these clients and I'm actually ordering with,
I love that.
with these clients, almost like a special order. I give them the opportunity to special order, but also most of them will just come to me and say, "Hey, Gina, you saw it.
Mhm.
Choose for me." So they have the opportunity and the advantage of previewing collections before anybody else, before you see
Wow.
them online or Instagram. And you,
Sounds like
and
I need to become a member.
what?
I said, it sounds like I need to become a member.
Um, but I think that's a very special perk when we work together. You don't even have to become a member, but like as you and I get to know each other and you start shopping here and we start working together, I will think of you. When I
Mhm.
go to New York, I'll be like, "Oh my God, Michelle, would
Would
she
look
love
so good in this.
yellow? You know, that's great. Let me add that size for her." Or
Mhm.
let me show her pictures. And if she wants to special order it, she can special order it. So I think that's really been a nice little perk in my and all my, I mean, who doesn't want to be like catered to and
Exactly.
all curated for you? You know,
Mhm.
yes, you come to me because you like my style and like my eye and like this what I showcase, but at the same time, having somebody actually pick and choose for you and having that opportunity to preview some of your favorite brands before anybody else, it's something to look
You would
forward
be
to.
my best friend.
Everyone's best friend, and they're my best friend, right? But and it's like Christmas when it comes in, I'll be like, "Michelle, your
Yeah.
Serena's here. Do you remember that great dress you wanted in red and those cute pants? They're here."
Yeah.
So
Feels really feels good. It goes back to that confidence, you know, that women, when you find a brand or when you find a person, if you know that you could go into a store and
right,
get exactly what you want, that's why we keep coming back for more because the person is honest with us too.
right. Honesty is so key. You have
Mhm.
to build. I kudos to myself for that because I've really built a great clientele base. I'm very honest and they become so loyal because they know I want them to feel really good. It's not just about selling a dress off the floor because here's the deal. You can come to my space. You may find something that day, you may not, Michelle. Something may work, may not. And that's okay because you know what? Next time, there's going to be something.
Mhm.
There's always going to be something great and fun and fabulous in the studio that you'll find at some point. You know, so I just want all my clientele to come, have a great time when they come, whether they're solo or with their girlfriends. We play dress up, you know, and as long as they have an open mind, you know, where I can just pull things for them and, you know, sometimes it works for them, sometimes it doesn't, but at least, you know, they're open to it.
Yeah, everybody's in the same sort of wavelength. Exactly. Fun. That goes back to fun. You are
It's
the fun factor.
fun, but it's also okay to take some risks and it exudes your personality.
I agree with that. So tell me, have you ever thought about being a designer yourself? I mean, because you went to FIT. So I always think to myself, how did that, you know, or you never really wanted to.
You know, I've marinated back and forth, you know, and I've had a designer or two in the past ask if I'd like to collaborate with them to design with them, but I haven't done so. However, it's interesting you asked me that question because just the other day, I think I'm going to can't reveal what it is yet, but I have an idea, something that I may design it.
Excited.
Yeah, my boyfriend came up with a name.
Wow.
I think I'm going to for lack of a better word, manufacture produce something that's really fun and special and on brand to Spool.
Wow.
I'm really
That's cool. That's elevating you to like the next level. That's super cool.
Yeah. So
I'm
we'll
sure you've thought about things through the years somehow.
totally. Like I said, like I go back and forth. I've had opportunities, and I have the resources of everything. But it's a lot of work to manufacture and design, because
Yes.
not that I when I'm shopping for brands in the studio, I'm very particular where things are made and manufactured. I don't want anything from China. I
Mm-hmm.
need to make sure like how things are made, what again what the fabric feels like.
Quality.
The quality is really important. I always pay attention to price point. Always. I'm not gonna buy a dress or retail a dress that's made in China and retail for $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very mindful. So going forward, when with this particular idea that I have, I'm going to make sure that all my fabrics that I'm going to be using are locally sourced, or
That's a
maybe
big deal. I love that.
yeah. So I'm excited. We'll see. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Well, I think actually, good things happen to good people. And I'm sure that karmically, like it'll all just come back to you in spades
Yeah.
because that's what you put out to your clients.
Right. And I have a little more time now that my kids are getting older, which is nice. They're becoming more independent. So as you know, as a mom, we have to
We're
plug and play.
constantly balancing.
Exactly. So yeah, so I have a little more time. So I'm gonna try this out and see what happens.
I like it. Taking a risk. She's stepping in, people.
Right?
There, it is all about the risk, and maybe now's the time for that next step 16 years later of like something even more risky that will give you the gain, give you where you want to go. So another question that I have for you is, so that was fascinating because I was very curious. I was like, it's interesting. Why doesn't she have anything of her own?
And I
You
just
need a Gina label. Sorry, Gina Lamanna, not a Yama. So anyways, going back to, we got to add a little humor around here, people. So my other question for you is, would you ever consider going back to like a full-time, you work full-time now, but I mean like in somebody else's environment? Would you take an opportunity like that?
no.
All right, I like that. So
Yeah, I did the
definitive.
whole like 9 to 5. I was a buyer for Saks many years ago, like in an office. I think because, well, number one, I mean, I built this business based on my experience, my expertise, and the clientele, my resources. But also, I created to create flexibility in my life, to be a mom, to be
Mhm.
able to travel and do the things, be able to pick up my kids every day at 2:30, and that's an amazing luxury as a working mom. And my clientele again are super understandable, and they're very flexible. So for me to go back to, no, I don't think I could do it.
Yeah, I don't see that in the cards for you, but it's always just interesting to know where people stand.
I mean, I do have a dream in the future, when their kids are older. I mean, I don't know if this answers your question, but in 6, 7 years to move to Costa Rica and open up like a bed and breakfast type
Love
or like
that.
a boutique type thing. Maybe we'll see.
I love that. Will our new clothes that you'll be making for us be able to be sported in Costa Rica?
So,
Oh, I love it. And I could do yoga classes for you. We could come do women's retreats. That
exactly.
would
So
be
I mean,
amazing.
that would be something. I mean, but when I really truly grow up, Michelle, what I really truly want to do when I grow up
Tell me.
is have a bakery.
Wow. Do you bake on the side?
I do. But that's I don't know if you know people that are in that industry. It's a
It's a
lot of work,
grind.
expensive, and but if yes, if I were to be derailed into something, that would probably be like having my own bakery.
Or transition into something. Yeah, exactly. Not derailed, maybe follow the dream.
Right, exactly. Right.
So, one of my other questions for you is just, around opportunities. Was there an opportunity you felt you really missed in your life?
Um, no, to be honest with you, no, I don't. I think everything kind of fell into place. I'm a big believer that too. I think things kind of just fall into place as they should. And I think all the opportunities that have been presented to me through the years leading up to me finding Spool, I took them all within my industry. I think that I'm exactly where I should be.
I love that.
I have an opportunity though. I don't know if I told you this about, was it 2 years ago? Some investors approached me to expand my concept. You know, they loved the idea of my concept and they wanted me to expand to 2 or 3 different cities throughout the country, you know, in the country. And as tempting and wonderful as that sounded, especially when you're thinking money, dollar signs,
Absolutely.
I declined it because I thought to myself, the beautiful thing about Spool, it's the magic and the allure and you deal with me. Sure, I have assistants and interns along the way that assist me, and they're amazing and they have a good eye too. But at the end of the day, my clientele, we're working together one-on-one. It's always going to be that until I no longer can. And that's what I do about my job too. I'm not farming it out to people. Like, sure, I have assistants that help me, but at the end of the day, I'm making the final decision.
Absolutely.
Clients come in and I'm not available, I'll pull and showcase all their pieces. They may work with my assistant and an intern, but they're not buying anything until they talk to me. They're like, once I talk to Gina, we make our final decisions. They'll take pictures. My team will take pictures of my client or whatever, and then we go over it together, like yay, nay, no, and whatnot. So
I think that is the biggest, one of the biggest obstacles as an entrepreneur is when to grow, when to pull back, when to know to pull the plug, you know, those types of things. And I think you say it really well, is that you can never replace the experience of working directly with the owner.
Right.
And because it's your baby, it's your heart.
Exactly. And I am a mom and I have a life. I have a boyfriend, I have kids, and I have friends that I have a community. So for me, it was a great opportunity and I thought about, but then on the flip side, I was like, but then I'll be spreading myself out thin. I'll be traveling all over. And then you just lose the allure of what I created. Maybe they'll get to deal with me if I'm in town. Maybe not. Or my original clientele from day one, who've been amazing, loyal, and supportive, may not have access to me if I'm gone for 3 weeks, you know, in Chicago at the other studio. So
exactly.
I mean, maybe if I have that opportunity again, years down the line, maybe I'll consider, but
when you have that opportunity again,
excuse me?
When you have that opportunity again?
When I have that, right, I like that. When I have that opportunity again, maybe I would consider, but as of now, like, I love what I created and it's perfect.
Yes.
I can, it's good. It works for me. It works for my family, and I'm available to my clientele. I'm not, you know, it works out well.
So one last question for you.
Sure.
In one word, how do you describe yourself?
A one-woman dance party.
That's not one word, but okay.
But
I like that.
One word?
Now you can say one woman dance party. I'm going to take that. I love it.
Okay, you can take it.
Can you give us a little dance?
Yeah.
So what's your favorite kind of dancing?
Any and all kind of dancing.
We were meant to be friends.
Any and all kind of dancing. You put music on, girl, and you know, we dance in the studio. I'm all about music and dancing. We have a 5 p.m. dance party every day, my daughters and I.
Oh my God, I love that. I used to do dance party at 4 o'clock every day. I love that. See? Yeah. Very interesting. Yeah. Well, I want our audience to make sure they know where to find you. And if you could please leave them with not only your Instagram, but any other pertinent information that might be important for them.
You can always get a hold of me through Instagram. It's shop_spool, DMS. My website, ladies, it's non-existent. I haven't updated in years because Instagram has been amazing for us. We've generate more business and engagement via Instagram than we have on our website. So please don't go to the website because I don't even think it's working anymore. But best way to contact me would be through Instagram.
And can they message you to make an appointment?
Of course.
I love that. And just asking the question, but like shop_spool, you can do it virtual. You can virtually shop with you
Do you
through
charge
anything that they see on your Instagram, but they could also come in and
they
experience it that way too.
an appointment with me anytime? We could do virtual styling, which we did quite a bit during COVID. We hand deliver, we ship, and we also do curated style boxes. If you
I love that.
become a member, it's I don't really want to compare it, but it's got the vibe of Stitch Fix, but it's very
Okay.
curated high end. So I
Mhm.
curate a style box for you. I send it to you whether you live locally or out of state. You try on a few things at home and whatever you keep. I send you
Yeah.
lookbook pictures and ways to style it and all that, but you have to become a member for that.
Okay. Well, and they know how to become a member because there's a link in bio or link tree in your.
In Shop Spool there is, yes.
Okay, got it. I will make sure to do that.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining today. I'm so grateful. People out there that are looking to be female entrepreneurs or step in. I mean, Gina's a perfect example of creating an opportunity for herself. So I'm grateful for our time and for our friendship. And I look forward to more fun in the future.
I look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course.